So just a couple of days, the election is over and stuff. I've been hearing about civil war and stuff, and leading up, and who was, next 5, 10 years, people think there'll be. I'd be like, don't threaten me with no two Americas civil war. We've been at war since I've been born. There's been a civil war. There's been two Americas, or whatever you want to call it. It ain't never been never. There's always been two Americas, one for the Europeans and one for us. And that's how that still stands today. They even called it, that was funny when they had the pandemic thing going on, and they started calling the slaves, they called them what? They called them essential workers. People who got to clean the toilets and stuff like that. Essential workers. That's a nice name. And people went for that stuff like, we give them $2 more to be essential workers. Man, that'll top them right off the top. Meanwhile, they gave some airline company $60 or $6 billion just off the nothing. For nothing. For nothing. Just gave them $6 billion. I said, well, I know that's a kickback coming out of all that. They're going to be kicking them billion bucks back around for a while they're giving the essential workers $2 an hour more. There's always been two Americas. There's no civil war that ever ended. It has always been a civil war. And at the end of the last one that they admit was a civil war, they came out, we were doing well, and they say, oh no, we can't have this, we got a reconstruction. So they reconstructed and got us all out of the government, all out. They burned our towns and killed our people, murdered people and stuff like that, until they got it back under the martial control that they have it under now. Because any colored neighborhood you go into now, everybody knows that if the cops come in and some of them boys just dash because they scared of going to jail, the cops may shoot them in the back and nothing happens to them cops, because it's war. And we're under, not oppression, y'all call it oppression. We're in prison camps. Not you like oppression, like, oh, that's so nice, he's oppressed. No, prison camp. The prison camps is what's going on. You call them neighborhoods, they prison camps. Don't you see how it's being maintained and run? Y'all don't run nothing in them camps. They bring in people with the food. They bring in people with all the stuff that you need, because it's a prison camp. And then they just work you. Talking about two Americas. They going civil war. Tired of them threatening all that crazy stuff at people. It's just stupidity and threats. They ain't gonna do nothing. Ain't no civil war, nothing else. They barely can walk straight. Without a gun, half of them can't even see straight. And that's the end of that. Ain't no civil war, ain't no threat, or nothing else. This has simply always been war, and we've been living in prison camps that become more restrictive every time we vote. We become just like everything else here, a useful tool for them to run over. And I notice even when the Europeans come over from wherever they come from, especially right now in Ukraine, they're not essential workers. They get paid just to come. Niggas be hustling for 4 and 5 years just to get what they got for free. $40,000, $50,000 just to come to this country and don't be essential workers. They got enough of them. Yeah? That's how this civil war works. It's a civil war, all right, and we're at war and don't even know it.